and say, none will know it but the people of tafakkur. And internet and tuning in for the first time, have to be reminded for myself and for all others. Throughout Qur'an al-Majid, Allah gives examples of something and say, none will know it but the people of tafakkur. And before understanding that, Allah puts within the heart and soul of these tafakkirun, the people of tafakkur. So Allah first describes in Holy Qur'an that these amazing incidences and say, none will know it, means count yourself out. Don't be angry on social media because you don't understand what they're teaching. Allah already explained, none will know it. It's not something common and it's not for common people. That's why Allah is giving a disclaimer, Yusabbihu wa bihamdi, for verily everything praises me but none will know it except the people of tafakkur. So don't be upset because Allah already negated most of creation that you're not going to know it except, and Allah's rahmah, except if you take a path of tafakkur. Without the path of tafakkur and contemplation, and then go now your social media people and you Google, what is tafakkur? What is to stop and to contemplate? And as a result of understanding that, because the people whom Allah called to this path, they have that within their being. They understood the world was going too fast, they saw too many people die, too many people get into calamities and difficulties, and something Allah put within our souls to slow it down.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You're about to go 100 miles an hour into your grave. And those whom Allah calling, their inner calling, something slowed down on them. And as a result of slowing down, they took everything very slowly. And anything that anyone began on their spiritual journey to start to teach and to talk, they were trying to absorb it very slow, very precise. Not to pass everything fast because they already did that in dunya. They passed everything fast, and for dunya, that's going to get you in trouble. But for Allah He doesn't want you coming with your dunya standards into deen in which you read fast and think that you comprehended. So then those whom were called into the way, they later found out from their shaykhs that this is the way of tafakkur. None will know it, even many who sign up within these Sufi tariqas, turuqs and the paths of reality, they don't have an inner calling, and that to understand the way of tafakkur is to stop and contemplate, slow down. If you're taking the way of Allah fast, you're going to miss everything. And Allah gives a warning because you may find yourself to be very great. And Allah then gives an example, an isharat from Sayyidina Musa that he declares, I will not stop until the two rivers meet, to the location of the two rivers meet. And he knew, but his companion may not have been told, of what was to take place at a rendezvous point. And because of moving fast to the destination, he realizes, I'm hungry, what's happening? And that's the whole story of Sayyidina Joshua. Said, it was ajib, I forgot, shaitan made me to forget to tell you that when we put out the fish for lunch, this dry dead fish, it came alive and jumped into the water. It was ajib. And that was the sign that Sayyidina Musa was looking for, pointing out to us this path is not something visible. Dunya people want a physical proof, prove it to me. It's not going to work like that. The proof is in your actions, in the pudding. So they came to Imam Shafi and said, you talk about unseen, prove to us unseen. So he said, bring me some milk, and his students brought some milk. So if I tell you in this milk there's cheese, do you deny me? I said, no. What cheese? He said, but I tell you in this milk there's cottage cheese, there's ice cream, there's whatever you can describe that's made from milk, it's in here. Do you see it? They said, no. I said, because it has a process. We're going to spin this, it's going to turn to butter. We're going to do this, it's going to turn to a cheese. We're going to freeze this, become like an ice cream. Everything has a process. If you want things to happen before the process, then you lack faith, and that path is not for you. The way that Allah is giving to us is that you have to slow down. Whatever you did in dunya doesn't work here. That there's not a hustle, it's slow, tedious, continuous. It's a way in which to give your life to the path, not to take from it. You came to give it and give to it. And as a result your whole life goes slow, and everything is about contemplating, meditating and understanding, Ya Rabbi, that make me from these tafakkirun, the people of tafakkur, in which none will know except them. I want to know, because anyone whom wants knowledge from Allah wants to be from arifeen, wants some sort of attention from the Divine, this is the greatest attention. Those whom He gave ilm laduni wa hikmati bis salihin, they got the greatest gift from Allah. They got ilm laduni means that they got heavenly knowledges, heavenly sources that are not on books, preferenced in books, but its true reality is the depth behind it, is not openly taught by 99% of the places on earth, but it's hiddenly taught by 1%. And that Allah will enroll them in these courses. So if you're sitting somewhere and they're not teaching ilm laduni, it's not that. Because Allah said, the one whom we granted ilm laduni wa hikmati bis salihin. So means Allah going to inspire that, like Sayyidina Musa he passed it fast. He remembered the sign that, oh, where that fish came to life is where one of Allah's servants are. And the quality of that servant, he brings the dead to life. And that's why Allah gave the isharat, the example of that fish, that your soul on this earth is a dead fish drying up and nothing is quenching it. The car doesn't quench it, the house doesn't quench it, all the raises and money is not going to quench it. That fish is dying. and he came into the presence of only one of the servants of Allah, not the servant of Allah. From one of my servants I'm going to send to Sayyidina Musa to learn from, and he's Kalimullah. Sayyidina Musa means high level, and Allah is giving a humbling, I'm going to send to one of my servants. And the trait and the quality, because they say, where's all of this teaching in Qur'an? Well, we're telling you but you don't right to understand it. And the people who quickly want to make comments from thumbnails and what do you call thumbnails or clickbait, you show the level of ignorance that you have, that you can't even watch it to learn it and then give us an intelligent comment back. Just they look at the 2 seconds of the beginning, well that's like what children do, and they think, oh they have the summary of what this talk is about. No, Allah is defining these characteristics, that these are the people of contemplation, the people of realities, and that to slow down and go back now and retrace your steps. He wanted to meet one of Allah's servants whom attained a rahmah and then was taught by Divinely Presence. Not that he studied and then attained Allah's rahmah, means then we write that and that becomes a key, that these people of ilm al-laduni, they're in the schools of rahmah and mercy, of how to have good manners, not in the classes of